Hey, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Great to have you. We have some questions rolling in now, but before we get to it, is there anything you want to add about your session that you maybe want to point out to folks that they may have missed or they may have left out?
Yeah, just maybe two words to summarize the session here. What we are hearing from our customers is that today their challenge is that they need to go and providing a much more extensive, so to say, white box or black box testing on the multi-channel applications using pretty the same resources that they have. And they have additional challenges that our solution is helping them. We are managing to help them to organize everything under one roof using the UFT or Unified Functional Testing Solution Suite, being desktop browsers, mobile devices, wearables, additional services, and so on. So the portfolio that we are providing for the functional testing is one roof and one-stop shop for all the challenges that today omni-channel application can provide, and we are here to help our customers.
Awesome. Just give me 1 second. There's a slight glitch in the system here. All right, cool. I just needed to change a lower third. For some reason, there was some weird info there, but we're back. Good information. So let's just jump into the questions and see what we got here. First question is from Jonathan. He wants to know, in regards to SV developers, do you have any plans for low-code capabilities, SV encode, YAML, for example, to support continuous testing with the pipeline? Additionally, can these shim stubs be reused in UFT Cloud Labs?
Yeah, definitely. Today we just started our integration journey between the service virtualization and UFT Mobile. Right now we are focusing on the scenarios that are required more, so to say, technical background related to service virtualization. It is not yet on the level of the YAML-based integration, but at least at the beginning, we are starting from integrating UFT Mobile Service Virtualization, Appium, or UFT Developer. But forward going, it's also going to be integrated more tightly also for the exploratory testing. So the short answer is that today it's not yet available, but forward going, yes, we are going to extend this integration not only for the SV part of it, but also extend it and provide some additional capabilities for UFT entire portfolio.
Very cool. So I love the concept of stubs, but in my experience, for some reason, most people don't use it, and when they do use it, they're sometimes concerned about they're not actually testing the proper workflow. So any advice about the proper use of stubs and the improper uses of stubs?
Yeah, absolutely. We are not saying that virtualized services is 100% replacement for end-to-end testing using the real ones, but we can think about the use cases when either there is no other way to do it. For example, if the another party is not ready or being developed, so all you have in your hands is a contract, right? And you need to progress with your efforts in parallel. Or alternatively, those services can be really expensive ones. Think about, banking, online banking services when you need to move real money from one account to another. This is not something that is sustainable. If you are talking financially, if you are talking about, big enterprises like our customers, banking corporations that require some, extensive use cases, right? So either it is not yet presented, either it is not reachable, either it is not available, or it is not expensive. This is the primary use case for using virtualized services as a starting point. Eventually, when it comes for the full-blown end-to-end testing, yes, definitely we are looking for the holistically for the entire business process, and definitely we need to see that also the real backend service or being API or being some additional service that we would like to consume is actually live and kicking and providing the adequate answer for us. So my preference will be on the early stages of the development, highly and extensively using those virtualized services. The real services can be used by the either acceptance test or later end-to-end test scenario.
Awesome. I also like the concept of maybe as teams are shifting left, sometimes everything's not developed. So you can use a stub almost the first feature that they're developing. Maybe they test against the stub, and then slowly as the full feature gets completed, they stop moving in more code is how I've seen companies use it. Not sure if that's a good user case or not, but it seems like it would be.
Yeah, Joe, this is exactly what is the DevOps about, right? We are talking about the speed, and we are talking about not just the speed of the delivery, but we are talking about the speed of development, right? So parallel development, shift left paradigm, all those assets are targeting precisely to accelerate on the delivery and accelerate on our development efforts. And definitely, this is a critical asset to achieve that goal.
Awesome. So questions keep coming in. Next question is, I don't know why my slide is, there we go. What are the main development and testing challenges relating to mobile technology that you've seen in your experience?
Yeah, once we're talking to our customers, and again, those are not the pure mobile customers, right? Those are the customers that they have already some additional delivery channels for their application, for their business, right? But when it comes to the mobile, managing and maintaining the mobile test bed, it's become a very significant challenge by itself because, we are talking about, mobile devices that are flying all around and, getting here, going there. You don't really know where they are at the moment. And therefore, the management or utilization of those assets becomes very critical, and not even talking about the procurement. If you are talking about the procurement of the mobile devices, this is also not an easy task for the big corporates. So providing an enterprise level lab management capability, this is the core capability that our customers are looking for. And the second challenge will be, how do you embed your mobile motion or your mobile strategy into your existing pipeline, right, into your existing life cycle. You are looking for additional tools, you are looking for additional capabilities, you are looking for additional expertise that maybe not exist in the teams, and therefore you need to build almost everything from scratch. With our solution, we are helping our customers to not just, to continue the journey as a natural extension to their day-to-day testing and development life cycle, but we also support all the modern DevOps motions that helps them to put mobile as a part of the DevOps cycle without or with minimal effort. So that will be the second challenge that our customers are highlighting, and therefore this is how we are trying to address it with our product.
Very cool. So another question, this is from Jonathan, and Jonathan wants to know, I'm currently using UFT 14.53 in mobile testing on local devices in MC33. You talk about support for AWS Mobile Farm. What will happen with Storm Runner functionality with the Load Runner Cloud? What options will we have around UFT Cloud for functional? That's a long question. Hopefully you got it.
Yeah, that's a long question, but we will try to provide a very precise answer for that.
Nice.
Right. So we are positioning our solution of UFT Mobile for the on-premise customers because this is our install base and this is the immediate demand that we got from our people that are trusted or we are trusted advisors for them, and therefore we are positioning it for them as an on-premise solution. But when talking to all of those customers, we do see some agenda for cloud transformation on this or that level of the maturity, and therefore we came up with additional solutions that are cloud-based. And this is what Storm Runner functional about, and this is what UFT Mobile on cloud is all about, right? So we are providing mobile app services in the cloud using UFT Mobile on SaaS. So this is the primary agenda for this initiative or for this shift, so to say, of our product. With regards to the Amazon device fund, this is yet another integration. We are considering it as yet another device provider, so to say, in our solution, because we are adding much more significant value on top of that, not just in terms of management, but also in terms of utilization, more efficient, so to say, usage of the test bed, and so on and so forth. With regards to the load runner piece, definitely the same assets that are generated for the functional testing using the UFT mobile or even load runner ViewGen, the same assets can be used also for the load testing. And in this case, we are getting much more precise user experience when the test is executed on the real mobile device using our true client protocol. So we are taking into account the transaction response time, the rendering time on the device, and so on and so forth. And this is a very significant addition to load test scenario, which can be executed either by load runner or load runner cloud as well. So that integration, yet another integration that extends the capability of our portfolio when Mobile Center, or as we know it today, UFT Mobile, is provide the central function of device provider, and the execution agent is done by the tools being UFT or load runner.
I love the end-to-end integration. It sounds like they work seamlessly together. So I love that. That's actually one thing I missed when I went to open source, is this type of integration between all these different products, so you could do functional and performance seamlessly almost. So very cool.
Right. Not speaking about another disciplines that we are support there, like security testing and many others. But again, that's the full blown implementation of our solution, which will probably excel on any other competitors in the market.
But you bring up security, and that's something I've been hearing a lot of. I interview a lot of people on my podcasts, and for some reason, security is brought up more often. Do you see that being baked in more recently with your products, or is that something that you think has been around forever, but people are just starting taking notice that it needs to be done?
Yeah, definitely. We do have an execution for the DevSecOps agenda, and the DevSecOps agenda is a tight integration between different products in our portfolio. For example, UFT Mobile and the Fortify. So Fortify also exists as an on-premise tool as well as a cloud service, and therefore, even the customer is looking for some cloud transformation agenda, it also can be supported for static code analysis and additional items related to the mobile app testing or life cycle. Definitely, this is one of the strategic directions that we are taking, and as part of our integration portfolio, this is something that is included and fully functional.
Awesome. All right, so next question. And the question is, what is the licensing model for the mobile product? I knew we'd get one of these questions.
One of the things that we also put as a kind of general thinking as a team is, what will be the beneficial licensing model, right? Because when we're talking about the mobile devices, we can talk about very significant fragmentation of the mobile devices, different form factors, and so on and so forth. Therefore, we are not charging our customers by the amount of the devices that are connected to the platform. Because again, if you are not using the device, you're not really, it's not really important if the device is connected to our system or not. The licensing model is based on the concurrency of the usage, and which means that only when you are consuming the mobile device, or when you are using this device, being for manual testing, test automation, or anything else, only then the licenses actually count. So we do have a basic pack for the UFT Mobile Pro Edition, which starting with the 4 devices concurrency, and then you can add additional ones on top of that, which means that every single customer can start small, can start smart, and can start measuring the active license utilization over time. And the tool is also providing some optimization around that, so you can allocate the licenses to the specific workspaces, to the specific users. And therefore, during the initial period of time, the customers can build the proper model for scaling up with the solution. So they are using only those devices or those licenses that are required and not more than that. On the other hand, we also have additional agenda, which probably my colleagues will elaborate on that later on, when we are talking about consumption-based licensing model, in which we are going to provide a way to consume the devices by what we call device hours, right? Yet another model which is pretty tailored, so to say, to the SaaS environment, software as a service environment, which is purely based on the consumption. And this model is more sustainable in the SaaS environment. So those are the two licenses models that we have. Again, very positive feedback from our customers because, again, price-wise, it's competitive and return on the investment is very high, and value for money is exactly what our customers are looking for. And those two models are fully allow them to achieve that objective.
Very cool. All right, so next question. They keep coming in. Next question is, what are some key differentiators of Micro Focus mobile solution? I know there's a lot of open source solutions out there. There's a lot of cloud providers. Like, what's your secret sauce you think that makes you really stand out?
So first of all, we are awesome, right?
Yeah.
We are awesome people. We have great talents, and we're doing good software, and we're doing great.
Yep.
The customers is now our North Star, and therefore, as you can see, we are striving for the continuous delivery, and therefore our SaaS solution is getting updated constantly. Our on-premise version is getting out almost every 3-4 months. And the reason behind that is that the mobility market is very, very agile and very, very evolving. And therefore, it is not enough to release, one version in a year and hope that everything will be, sustainable, because Apple will come and surprise you, Google will come and surprise you with additional stuff. And therefore, we need to be competitive in that market in terms of the IP. And our intellectual property in this domain is very high. So this is very critical asset to build on when you're choosing your mobile provider, mobile solution provider. Secondly, I believe that our solution is only one solution that provides a hybrid deployment, which means that it is not really important if you are on-premise customer, cloud customer, or hybrid. The solution is tailored in the way that you can start from any point and you can expand. For instance, if you are on-premise customer and you are looking for some additional, let's say, SaaS services or something in the cloud to consume, we can provide it as a service without changing the main core of your product, without keeping that out of your control. And therefore, when we're talking to the customers that are looking for cloud transformation, UFT Mobile, it's the best fit for them, because they provide this kind of roadmap when they can go and scale and actually transform or evolve with our product. So hybrid solution, this is something that we are also pretty focused on. And we're also trying to onboard as many partners or customers that actually can help us to evolve that agenda. So we are working with this MSPs. We do have our professional services attached to that agenda as well. And therefore, regardless to what kind of deployment or what kind of delivery strategy the customer will select, we can support it. And this is not goes without saying, because if you look at the competitive market or competitive landscape, you can see that most of the competitors are focusing either on-premise or either fully cloud. Almost none of them are providing such kind of flexibility and versatility in hybrid and in transformation.
Awesome. All right, a few more questions. Some around best practices. They want to know, could you share 2 or 3 best practices you've observed when testing with mobile devices? I know you mentioned sometimes vendors change their APIs, and that can cause a lot of issues. So any best practices that you can think of? Sure.
First of all, we do have some very significant best practices knowledge, which is reflected in our practitioners forum. Definitely worth to have a look over there, because you can find many information here, starting from managing the cloud or on-premise mobile testing platform, which is UFT Mobile is. And it goes for some administrative tasks over there and so on and so forth. But you can also get into the very significant information about the practical usage or consumption of the system in the mobile testing itself. For us, what we are hearing from the customer, and also something that we experience by ourselves, I would like to emphasize on cross-browser testing, because cross-browser testing for us, or at least for the customers that we are looking for, it's very significant pain, right? Because they need to cover many desktop browsers and mobile devices and different versions of Chromes and different versions of Safari and so on and so forth. Our solution maintain full compatibility between different browsers, being desktop or mobile. So using UFT1 and UFT Mobile, basically you can run the same test across different form factors in different browsers, right? And therefore, it's significant time saver for the customers and for any testing activity in general. So the best practice number one will be for me, utilize the cross-browser functional testing capabilities that we have. Maybe somebody doesn't have it, so that's a good question to ask, because it's a real time saver and create a lot of important feedback as well. Second best practice that also we can talk about is ability to take the device vitals during the testing, being manual test or automated test, because sometimes, our customers are complaining about the fact that our application is slow. Sometimes they are complaining about disconnects or crashes in the application, right? So we do have that kind of information using our synthetic monitoring capability, of course. But in the testing, it is required to discover those kind of pitfalls. In our solution, this can be achieved using network virtualization, which can simulate different network conditions, and also be acquired by getting the real-time data device itself, like CPU usage or memory usage, and we can correlate those values with the test step script. So getting into the device vitals, it's a critical capability that also I strongly recommend to look after, because this is what your user experience will look like. And therefore, network virtualization, it's a critical component, so to say, that can help you to assure that your application is also performing under different network conditions, being connected, through the Wi-Fi, 2.5G, 5G that is coming in the recent days, and so on and so forth. Again, I can talk over and over because we have a lot of knowledge and a lot of excitement about this agenda, but Joe, I think our time is limited, so I will stop here. If you need more points, practice, and additional items, please refer to our practitioners forums, ask any questions over there. We will be gladly answering those.
Absolutely. And like you mentioned, you have a huge knowledge base. You've been doing this for years, 20 years with automation. So it really is a competitive advantage when you deal with a vendor that has this type of knowledge. So and you do have a bunch of best practices. So that's great advice. So we have another question from Rocky, and this probably would be one of the last questions, but let's see what Rocky has to say. Rocky wants to know, do you have a way to share issues that come up from customers and the resolutions to these issues?
Absolutely. Like I said, the community is the customer authority, and the customer is our North Star. So we're constantly looking for that feedback. Lately, we invest a lot in building our support organization. I think it's not a secret that currently the level of the support that we are providing across all functions, this is something that we can improve, and definitely this is one of the voice of the customers that we'll get. So we already build the knowledge here, and we onboard a new team with very exciting capabilities for providing customer support. But we also open a few programs, internal programs that are customer-facing ones, together with the customer success team. We have the program of the idea exchange, when customers can submit any missing feature in the product, and we are opening for voting for the rest of the customers, and therefore we can see what exactly is missing in the product, or at least what our customers are looking for. At the same manner, it's not must to be a feature, right? It can be some complaint or maybe some question that customers are struggling to find an answer. So using the same unified portal, unified practitioners forum, definitely we can get all the information, or we can communicate back with our customers directly. What is very unique for UFT Mobile is that we are keeping some kind of predefined workforce in our research and development organization that is customer-facing R&D. So that's a small team of the individuals that is distributed globally, and they are providing first-hand assistance, so to say, to entire community with any questions or comments that can come for our product or for our domain. So in order to get that kind of information, you have various channels. I would recommend to start with the practitioners forums. For the missing feature, we do have idea exchange channel that is monitored by me personally on weekly basis. And of course, we are here to help. And therefore, if there is something that product management, R&D, or even executive staff of our organization, we will be gladly, pick up the call, answer your email, and help you with any solution or any question that you may have.
Awesome. Great advice. I really enjoyed the session. Before we go, is there any last words of pot and wisdom you want to leave the Vivid ADM virtual days?
I think the same way that we are awesome, you are awesome too. I would like to thank to all our customers that supported us in this year. And I can assure you that in next year, 2020 is going to be also very excited for our products and especially for the UFT family. We do have a lot of innovation stuff. Please stay by for the next session or the sessions afterwards, because there is a lot of innovation and a lot of modern stuff that we would like to share here. With that, thank you for your attention. It was a great session and pleasure for me. Joe, I appreciate the opportunity, and if you need something, don't hesitate to reach me directly. I'm more than happy to assist.
Awesome. Thanks again so much for your time. Appreciate you, and we'll see you later on. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.